For me, I know what it's like. I believe, wasn't Sean O'Malley? He was undefeated as well. I mean,
Yeah.
and Edmen, we were all undefeated. So for me, when I lost, I wouldn't say it's like a pressure relief because I always put pressure on myself. But again, like I know that was a fight that the odds were not in my favor. Coming off of it, knowing that I lost, yeah, I'm a little bitter towards it, but watching other fighters lose, like me, Edmen and Sean O'Malley had his injury or whatever happened with his foot, but from the calf kicks or what, I don't know the situation, but and then Edmen as well, like seeing them fight, like I know the feeling, but it's also at the end of the day, like there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. And I know that for myself, I train and do everything I possibly can in my capacity to be able to win that fight and to prepare. So when I go out there, I know that I've left nothing out. Like I haven't missed, like when I'm in a camp, I am like every single thing. I obsess over it. I get my schedule out. I plan it. I overplan. Coaches have to tell me to chill. Coaches have to tell me to like go sleep or something, So like it's never did I do enough? It's always like, you need to stop doing stuff because you're going to end up doing too much. So then that's the balance. And then making sure that now I'm making sure that the recovery is prioritized as well. So like, I know when I go out and I fight, that's the only chance that I'm going to lose is freak injury, whatever, which is the reality. Like you're going out there with another person who's trying to hurt you. But it's not going to be from lack of preparation or lack of trying or anything like that. So for me, it's not like I'm not shattered over it.
Well, and the thing, I was going to start to interrupt you there, but I think the thing that also bothers me too is like, people are like, they were rushed too soon, but I don't think so. I mean, you had a big win over Jillian Robertson almost a year ago. It was back in October on the Boston card. That was a huge win for you. You finished her in the first round. Edmen beat Brad Tavares, head kicked him at the UFC 244 card. Of course he was going to fight a Derek Brunson. And for O'Malley, he was highlight reel finishing all these guys. And then he fights a guy in Chito Vera and, he hurts his, obviously Chito played a role in that injury as well. But, do you think fans are just very fickle about that stuff? Because I can't understand it. It's like, don't you want to see people promoted well? Like, why is it always that everyone was rushed too soon? It just seems kind of crazy to me.
Okay. For me, in my defense, I'm like, I fought girls like, not just Jillian Robertson. I mean, we've seen her fight and she's been successful, but JJ Aldrich, I mean, if you look at JJ Aldrich, she's a solid fighter as well, and she's been racking up wins.
Mallory Martin, you fought her in your
Mallory Martin just fought. Yep. So I mean, I don't feel, I know for a fact that I wasn't rushed too much or too soon. I have been putting in work since I'm not saying I was putting in like solid work at 3 years old, but I have been in the gym since I was 3. And I've known that I wanted to be a fighter since I was 16. Like I have been putting in the work, and I know who I train with, and I know who I'm learning from. And for me, I know that I wasn't pushed too soon. Things happen and people get injured, people lose. That's just the reality. For Edmen Shahbazyan, I don't think anybody can say that he's been pushed too soon, because
but there's people saying that. That's what's crazy to me. It's like, what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, there are guys at the top where you're like, okay, that's gonna be a tough fight. But at the same time, selfishness aside and competitive athlete aside, I truly believe that he did have a shot at being the youngest champion. Mm-hmm. Like I truly believe that, because he is, like, you can see the skill, you can see the talent, you can see the hard work. Selfish fighter of me, I was like, yes, like I'm not the only one that has a little bit of like we both got a loss, we both got a setback. Like I am, not only am I competitive in my own division, but I almost feel like I'm competing against him, which is good, because it keeps you hungry, keeps you motivated. But he is definitely a solid fighter. And same thing with Sean O'Malley. Like, I don't agree with everything he does or whatever. He does his own life, but I've watched interviews of his, and you have to respect the guy for the work that he does put in. I've watched stuff and interviews from him and training sessions from him. He works hard, so he deserves to be respected, especially by the fans. I mean, any fan that talks crap about a fighter has no idea what we go through day in and day out to train. And I'm not saying that everybody, like, we deserve more respect. I'm saying that everybody's life is different, and we don't go out and talk bad about you and what you're doing or your line of work, or, you know, because everybody, at the end of the day, everybody is just trying to provide for their own families. Everybody is just trying to be successful. Nobody is going out there with an ill intention of, yeah, I want to, like you should hate on me. Like, that's not how it works. You know, we're all just trying to get better and evolve. And sometimes the other person has to win, you know. Sometimes the guy who beat Sean O'Malley, sometimes Cheeto has to win, you know. Like, it's got to be one or the other. So
yeah.
Why do you got to talk bad about Sean O'Malley just because he's down? Do you want other people to kick you when you're down? Like, I don't like that. It definitely bothers me. Like, I could go on forever.
We can do a whole podcast on how, you know, fighters
are promoted. I can do a whole podcast and rant
yeah.
about it.
It's true, though, because, like,
I don't agree with some of the things you do. I still am like, no, that man's a fighter. That man works hard. I don't care what you say, what you believe in, what you think. He works hard. He is where he is for a reason. And don't talk bad about him unless you've been through his life or his shoes and you are where he is right now. So I just feel like people should just keep their mouth shut.